Andy, very disappointing result today, 7-2, not what we came here for.
You come for two things, don't you? You come for the performance and you come for the result, and again we haven't got either. So yeah, the result is disappointing. In my book, I don't really think it was a 7-2 game. They may have been 3 goals better than us, but I'm not sure about 7-2, if I'm perfectly honest. Thought that was a bit harsh on us. But in terms of the performance, there were some bright points today that we're happy about. Obviously, we've scored 2 goals. There's been some better build-up play from the back and a little bit more quality than last week. And I guess at this stage, that's all we can hope for, inch by inch, moving forward each week.
And going back to the first half, we conceded from 2 set pieces. That's something that we can work on moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it was tight at half time. We go in at half time 2-1, so I'm not quite sure what went wrong second half. Obviously a little bit of injury again, a little bit of players playing out of position, and all of a sudden it all starts to unfold. So we've got to, as you say, look after those set pieces, make sure that we're not conceding soft goals. It's going to be hard enough as it is, but if we keep giving goals away, we're always going to be playing catch up.
Georgia Griffiths gave us hope going into the break.
She did, I think 3 players could have eventually scored that goal. She gets on the loose bits first of all, so delighted for her. Thought she was really competitive and at it today, as were a couple of the other players. She's obviously come off injured second half, so that's a bit of a concern going into next week. So, we need to repair and we need to get her back.
And at 4-1, Faye Marshall came onto the pitch and scored a great goal.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have to ask Faye whether she actually meant it or not. Let's give her the credit and let's say that she did. That got us back into the game. We had other chances as well after that, which could have taken it to 4-3 and even 4-4, which obviously would have been a completely different game. And then as we continue to push, 3 late goals in the last 5 minutes, which, I thought certainly 2 of them were rather unlucky. But, again, we've got caught out as we're pushing for the game late on. So the reality is we've got to learn to be still in a game late on and not pushing and conceding daft goals.
And when Faye Marshall did score that goal to make it 4-2, we did have chances at that point in the game to really get back into it.
Yeah, and fair play, the girls kept believing, the girls kept pushing at that stage, and again on another day it might be slightly different if the ball falls for you or there's that tiny extra little bit of quality in the final third. We could be standing here saying, well, we've taken a point or even better than that, but unfortunately it wasn't to be today, so we've got to learn from that and then be ready again next week.
Yeah, and after Faye Marshall's goal, went downhill from there. With the 3 goals late on, which sort of ruined it a bit.
Well, yeah, I think we've already covered that. 3 late goals changes the shape, a little bit of injuries, get the subs on, it becomes a little bit fragmented. So I'm not too concerned about the last 5 or 6 or 7 minutes of the game. I'm looking at the bigger picture and the performance overall, which, similar to last week, we need to be a little bit more competitive and we need to show a greater amount of belief right from the start of the game to make sure that we are standing toe-to-toe against our opponents.
And we've got a tough test next week at home against Cardiff City. If we can bounce back and get something from there, we can start to build some momentum.
Well, the point there, I think, is, we've mentioned that we're a young side, we're a new side to the league, is that we've played 2 games already in this league, and if we thought those 2 games were tough, then we need to be ready next week because it'll be twice as tough, I'm sure.